All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're going to take a story you think you know inside and out and completely flip it on its head. We're doing a deconstruction of Pinocchio, and what we're going to uncover is a really dark, philosophical tale hiding just beneath the surface.
So, when you hear the name Pinocchio, what's the first thing that comes to mind? It's probably that sweet, naive puppet, right? The one who just wants to be a real boy with his wisecracking cricket sidekick. Well, I'm going to ask you to just throw that whole image out the window. Because the original story, it is something else entirely, something way, way darker.
Yeah, you heard that correctly. Carlo Collodi's original 1883 novel is not some heartwarming kid's adventure. It's a brutal, grim warning about the dangers of unchecked impulse. What happens when you just follow your every desire? It's a cautionary tale about pure hedonism. And that's what we're going to do. Deconstruct it, act by act.
Okay, let's kick things off at the very beginning. Act 1, A Puppet's Defiant Birth. And you should know, our story doesn't start with a lonely woodcarver wishing for a son. No. It starts with a piece of wood that is already alive and already a problem.
So get this, before he's even Pinocchio, he's just a log. But this isn't normal wood. It cries, it laughs, it absolutely terrifies the carpenter who finds it, a man named Master Cherry. He's so freaked out that he just gives it away to his friend, Geppetto. And this is the crucial part. Pinocchio's rebelliousness isn't something he learns, it's baked right in, an inherent quality of the very wood he's made from. As Geppetto starts carving him, the puppet is already mocking him, making fun of him. And the literal moment he gets legs, what's the first thing he does? He kicks his father. There is no innocence here, just a strange, innate cruelty from the very first chip of wood. And that defiance, well, it immediately escalates into action, and the consequences are pretty devastating. Let's see how this plays out in Act 2. The speed of his betrayal is just breathtaking. I mean, we're talking minutes here. Within 1 minute of being finished, he steals Geppetto's wig, laughs right in his face, and bolts out the door. It's crystal clear. He doesn't want a father. He wants absolute, unrestrained freedom. And this is just a brilliant illustration of the chaotic world Collodi created. When Pinocchio is finally caught, the public immediately takes his side. They assume Geppetto, the parent, must be abusive. So Geppetto, the actual victim in this whole scenario, is the one who gets thrown in prison. Pinocchio's very first act of freedom results in the unjust punishment of the one person who loves him. Now we come to what is, without a doubt, the single most important and most disturbing scene in the entire book. This is the moment that truly defines the original Pinocchio. Pinocchio wanders back home, which is now empty because his father is in jail, thanks to him. But he's not alone. He's met by a talking cricket, who has apparently lived in that room for over a century. Now, this isn't some cheerful sidekick. This cricket is basically ancient wisdom personified. The cricket lays out a very stark choice for Pinocchio. He says, essentially, listen to your father and go to school, or follow your lazy impulses and you'll end up miserable. This isn't just friendly advice, it's a direct moral challenge. It's the voice of reason, of consequences, it's the voice of conscience.
So what do you think Pinocchio does when he's confronted with this truth? Does he listen? Does he maybe argue his point? No, he does something much, much worse.
He picks up a wooden hammer and smashes the cricket flat against the wall, killing it instantly. Let that sink in for a second. This is not an accident. It is a conscious, violent act. He's literally silencing the voice of morality. This is the story's point of no return. So, having murdered his own conscience, Pinocchio is now totally free to follow every single whim. And the results are immediate and catastrophic. First, he gets hungry. He finds an egg, but when he cracks it open, a little chick flies out, leaving him with nothing. So he goes outside to beg, and a neighbor just dumps a bucket of freezing water on him. Finally, shivering, he goes home, sits by a fire to warm up, falls asleep, and literally burns his own feet to cinders. This rapid-fire sequence of disasters illustrates the story's core argument perfectly. Without a conscience, without any kind of foresight, Pinocchio is completely and utterly helpless. He's just a creature of pure impulse, incapable of even the most basic tasks required for survival. So just as he hits absolute rock bottom, mutilated, starving, his creator returns from prison, and what happens next is truly remarkable. Geppetto finds this legless puppet who got him arrested, and he shows him nothing but mercy. He actually carves new feet for him. Then in the middle of winter, he sells his only coat to buy Pinocchio a schoolbook. It is an act of profound, unconditional love for a son who has earned absolutely none of it.
And for just a moment, it really seems to work. Pinocchio feels a genuine pang of remorse. He cries, he hugs his father, and he promises he'll finally go to school and make him proud. He has been given a second chance.
So, with his brand new feet and his new school book, Pinocchio finally sets off on the right path for about 5 minutes.
On his way to school, he hears the music from a puppet theater, and immediately, all thoughts of his promise, all thoughts of his father's sacrifice, they just vanish. He sells his new school book for a ticket to the show. His resolve is zero. The lesson has not been learned.
And this is the real Pinocchio. He isn't some sweet boy who gets led astray. He is a cruel, selfish, and fractious being who seems to only learn through immense suffering and pain. He's the embodiment of that raw, unrefined spirit that has to be broken and reshaped by discipline before it can ever hope to become human.
You know, philosophically, what Pinocchio represents is pure hedonism. It's the belief that satisfying your immediate desires is the only thing that matters. Collodi's book is just a brutal takedown of that whole idea, showing that it doesn't lead to happiness, but to misery, mutilation, and pain.
So, the crucial question we're left with is this. Is the original Pinocchio simply a monster? Or is he maybe a terrifyingly accurate depiction of our own raw, untamed nature? Before the hard lessons of life and the voice of a conscience we hopefully don't kill teaches how to be human. The answer, I think, may not be in the storybook, but within ourselves.